Good morning. Good morning. Hello. We're here at TEDx today, TEDx Chapel Hill, TEDxFranklinSt. There are 29 TEDx events going around the world today, many in cities that I could not even pronounce. But there are only 3 in the United States today, so we are 33% of the TEDx in the United States today. Thanks very much for coming. TED is about sharing ideas, and I don't know how many of you had seen a TED Talk before. They're really fun, they're exciting, they're rejuvenating. And I thought, you know what? There are a lot of really great people around here that don't even have time to have lunch with each other. And I would love for them to get to hear each other and connect with some of you all, because you all have great ideas too, worth sharing. And so I thought, this is time. I was enjoying the TEDx talks, and I said, maybe we could do something about it. In my professional life, I'm an expert in innovation. And there's something new going on in innovation right now. Innovation is simply the process of saying the world is not as it ought to be, and I think it can be better. Right now we're in a new phase of innovation, and you may have been hearing signals from the media where there are themes of stillness and quiet. There's a really important book out right now by Susan Cain about the value of being quiet. This is a signal to us about this new phase of innovation where, yes, it has been about gadgets and gizmos, but now it is about quantum computers, things that use subatomic particles to change whole ways people interact with each other. It's about a new way of connection, but the amount of complexity and the amount of competition here is making it very tough. Now, we have lived in a world where people have dealt with complexity and competition in ways that sometimes are not very good for the world. In fact, one of the challenges of today is the challenge of Apple. I love Apple computers. And this is a reminder that we don't need to connect during this time. So could we all turn our mobile phones off, please, during this time, okay? And while you're doing it, think about the Apple iPhone. It's great. It unleashed our spirit in many different ways. But people are saying, you know what? I cannot be for a great company like Apple if they're going to treat their Chinese workers the way they are. We've got to deal with complexity and competition in a way that unleashes the human spirit in the right way. And this is the new phase of innovation, which is the best people out there, the best companies, the best teams today and in the future, because they exist right now, but more of them will exist in the future. They deal with the complexity and they deal with the competition in ways that make more because of all of us. And what that means is they help unleash the human spirit, because you cannot create a quantum particle computer without using your whole brain, mind, body, and spirit. It takes too much of you. And the brain doesn't work that way anymore. And it never did. You can't just go and say, I'm only going to use 25% of my brain to solve and make a cognitive leap that nobody in the world has done before without using your whole mind, body, and spirit. And so we have to unleash the human spirit to solve some of the problems of our age. And the best teams and the best companies are doing it. And the signals that we get, such as you need to have quiet and stillness. The new trend in kids' toys is stillness. Well, I was onto that about 15 years ago. But those trends are very important. But what they're saying is the way the human mind works, the way neuropsychology works, is different. And we've been going about unleashing technology on people the wrong way. So that's where I came to it. But where do you find people who unleash the human spirit? And I went back to beloved community. I want to tell just a little bit about what that word means. Here we go. Because in beloved community, I found 6 gems in this world, in this street practically, who have unleashed the human spirit, and they've done it through beloved community. The term itself, I found from Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm going to read a quote from him from his early writings in the 1950s. The end is the creation of the beloved community. It is this type of spirit and this type of love that can transform opposers into friends, even Duke and Chapel Hill today, okay? It is this type of understanding goodwill that will transform the deep gloom of the old age into the exuberant gladness of the new age. It is this love which will bring about miracles in the hearts of men. It is love. If you had a chance to watch Brene Brown's, thank you, Melinda, for pointing that out to us. If you had a chance to watch The Power of Vulnerability, what she said is we're hardwired for connection. And in a world where we're working with quantum particles, we're going to have to use that connection to make the cognitive leaps we have to make. So beloved community is what the new phase of innovation is about. It's about unleashing the power of the Spirit. And the pioneers in this world have done it through ways of dealing with the degradation and the dignity. What's the bridge there? And the bridge, it turns out, whether or not you're a chemical scientist, whether or not you're a particle physicist, it turns out it's love. And that's kind of crazy. But what we're going to do is show you in 6 different settings, 6 radically different settings, people who know how to unleash the human spirit. And you'll hear that theme over and over again. And it's something that you can take into Apple Computer with you. Now, when I called up TED in New York, I said, hey guys, I'd like to have a TED Talk. And I think the big hole in what you guys are doing is something called Beloved Community. And it's about love and connection. And I think some of the speakers that you have in TED who are getting the most hits are talking about that theme. And if you look at the TED Talks that are the most popular, it shows you a trend line in that direction. And they said, Allegra, we don't know who you are, and we don't know where you came from, and we don't understand half of what you just said. But we want in, and we want in on the ground floor. So how can we help you pull people together so that they can connect? It's not about me connecting, it's about the people, the gems who unleash the human spirit, and you all connecting today so that you understand that this is the future, unleashing the human spirit. So our cousins at TED, our masters and overlords, asked us to give you a video introduction that's being shown around the world today to all of the TEDx talks.
Now today, you're part of a truly remarkable global phenomenon. Around the world, thousands of people have been gathering in meetings to experience the power of ideas. The surprising thing about today's meeting is that we here at TED have had almost nothing to do with it. We lent our name, our format, a few simple guidelines, and some of our content. But the really hard work to make today happen has been down to your local organisers, and we're truly in awe at the passion and dedication they have shown to make something like this work. A thank you to you too for taking the time out to come and be part of this exciting conversation about our shared future. Please write and tell us what you make of the event today. But for now, on with the show.
So welcome from our TED overlords. So how do we go from Allegra calling up New York and them saying, we'll give it a shot, to where we are here today? We had a capacity crowd. TEDx is allowed to have up to 100 people, and we had that many people sign up, and then a number of people just walk in, so and a few people drop out. So I'm going to just round it off there. And but how do we go from one person to where we are now? And the answer in this case was a bridge person named Kieran Preisler. If you know Kieran Preisler, can you raise your hand today? Thank you. Exactly. Okay. Kieran, when I met Kieran, it was through TED. I had just said, I want to, have this event. I put it up on the TED website after obtaining the license, and I got this email, and it was from a young man, 17 years old, who said, I believe TED and the ideas therein can change the world, and I believe it so much that I saw there was one at UNC Chapel Hill, and so I went and tried to get in, and they wouldn't let me in. So I climbed up a multi-story building and banged on the door and said, would you please let me in? And they said no. And I saw you, Allegra, we're going to have this. I will do anything to come to it. This is the power of a person who's young and says, I think the world can be different, and I want to be part of the change. Our first TED Talk is going to be about Kieran.